My name is Victor Thorn. I started off my military career in the Parachute Regiment in 1970. Over the subsequent years I spent 4 tours with 2 Para in Northern Ireland. From there I went to the military police, where I spent another 18 months in Northern Ireland. After that I went to the Royal Ulster Constabulary, George Cross, and spent the next 5 years also in Northern Ireland in West Belfast. Northern Ireland was a operational situation which was totally different to most other conflicts. You would have to leave in the morning. Certainly when I was in the IUC, you would leave in the morning and you would check your vehicle to see if there was a bomb. You'd check the streets to see if there was anyone that shouldn't be there, things like this. And it was a constant tension. And for 5 years, as a member of the IUC, I did that. Of course, you have to realise before I left the house, I would put on my bulletproof vest, which would go under my jacket. I would put my weapon in my holster. I had a holster which was attached to the belt, and then I would drive to work. And interestingly enough, where I was based in West Belfast, to start with Andersonstown and then all of West Belfast, we would go to what was called a safe place run by the army. In this case it was Musgrave Park Hospital, which was a military wing, and we would drive there, park up our vehicle inside a secure compound, and then take a big armoured vehicle called a pig up to the station. Andersonstown Road Police Station at that time was probably the most attacked police station in the world, and it's a different culture, a different lifestyle entirely to what normal people, even normal policemen in England, would deal with. All of a sudden, one day, you're not in the army anymore, or you're not in the police anymore. And suddenly, you're back into civilian world, which can be a very cruel place for a veteran. They don't understand what you live through. They don't understand what you may have seen, what you may have done. And because of that, they have no context or reference point to communicate with you, if you understand what I'm saying. And because of that, it can be very difficult for veterans when they leave to establish themselves back into society properly. What happens is because of this, you get veterans that end up feeling insular and cut off and alone, because people don't sort of communicate the way they used to be communicating. And I think that's why the breakfast clubs, the veterans' breakfast clubs, the drop-in centre here, regimental associations, all of these bodies help, the breakfast clubs in particular. The breakfast clubs, by their very nature, are literally open to veterans to come along. We talk bollocks, have fun, have breakfast, and when people get into that environment, it's like being back in the army. And it's like being back with your buddies again. And that's why breakfast clubs are so good at preventing people that go to them from going down a dark path. Because the trouble is, if you don't have this contact, you could go down a dark path. That could be alcoholism, could be drugs, could be it could be spousal issues, things like this. And as you know or may not know at the moment, there is a high incidence of veteran suicides. And the breakfast clubs help greatly in reducing that number. When it comes to the other side of dealing with stress, and I'm as much a victim of PTSD as many of the veterans here, There are different approaches. One of my, or quite a few of mine, I'm a motorcyclist. I'm a biker. I'm a member of the Airborne Forces Riders. I also enjoy computer games, which I found that as I'm getting older and as veterans get older, you need to stay active, you need to keep your brain working. So I do that. Some of the guys come here, do gardening. Other guys come into the craft room, make all sorts of stuff. And it's not just a question of using your brains and your skills to produce stuff, but it's being in with the right company. Absolutely my pleasure, guys. Thank you.